So in 39 days, I turned 40. Today is Saturday, June 6, 2006. I am here in Vienna, Austria, in my home office. And lately, I've been asking myself a question that I just can't shake. Did I choose this life or did this life choose me? So for the next 40 days, or 39, I'm going to sit at this desk and we're going to go through every single year of my life. Yes, even the ones that I may not remember. 40 episodes, 40 years, one question running through it all. And I'm starting at the very beginning, the year I was born, 1986. It's 40 to 40, 40 episodes, one for every year of my life, ending on July 14th, ending on July 15th on my birthday. We're going all the way back to 1986, where my mother water broke. The ambulance was called. And as she was lifting one leg above to get on the ambulance, I already started emerging out to the world because the girl was ready. Ready for what? Whew, that's something that we're going to have to discover together. And so we're going to go through all the way back from birth to childhood, my 20, my teenage years, my 30s, the whole shebang. No partner, no kids, a Haitian American woman raised in Miami, worked in New York, lived in San Antonio, went to school in LA, moved to Germany, now in Vienna, Austria. Like, how did I get here? So, and 40 years worth of things I've never said out loud. Guys, I hope you're ready because I don't even know if I'm ready for this. And a life that looked nothing like the script I was given. Like, imagine that. I am the last of four. I'm the baby. I'm a girl in a Haitian household. That's a lot. You know, being raised in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, you know, to Haitian parents that left their country for better opportunities for their family. You know, and mind you, my parents left separately, but ended up meeting in Miami. So that's a whole nother story that they can tell you. So if you grew up between two worlds and never quite belonged to either, stay. If you're approaching a big birthday and quietly asking your own version of this question, stay. This is for you. I was born in 1986, as I stated before. And if you know Haitian history, you already know that meant something. So apparently, back in February, just months before I came into the world, Jean-Claude Duvalier, baby duck, fled Haiti. Now, this isn't something that my parents talked about. This isn't something that I think I grew up learning. I think as I've gotten older and dived deeply into my culture, I wanted to learn more. So, and these are the facts. These are the things that was happening, and it amazes me. I'm just like, huh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was happening. And these are also conversations I love having with my mom because what's her perspective like? What was that feeling for her to leave at a time like that? Mind you, okay, let's stack it up. Jean-Paul Duvalier, aka Baby Doc, fled Haiti. 28 years of brutal dictatorship. Over. Done. For the Haitian diaspora in Miami, that night was eclectic. People flooded the streets of Little Haiti. They were celebrating. They were crying. They were calling family back home. The dictatorship had forced so many of them to flee. And I'm sure probably, you know, my parents as well. You know, again, I don't know. I have to talk to them. And so I was born into that. Not unknowingly, I didn't know. Into a community exhaling for the first time in a generation, into a family that had chosen Miami not because it was easy, but because Haiti, under that regime, was no longer safe. And if you know, we're 2026, it's like history's repeating itself all over again, unfortunately. So that's some background. That's just some background. And if you saw my first video, I asked Claude for assistance to go through this. And as I'm navigating, you know, how it's like or what it's like, my last 30, like not last couple of days while I'm 39, going into 40. And I wanted to do this because I'm just like, what is it? I've lived quite a full life. I've lived, and there is so much more to live, and I know I repeat myself. But I just wanted to really get into it and help someone out because at the end of the day, I feel like I didn't have that growing up. I had certain societal, challenges or societal, excuse me, standards that I, as a Haitian woman, young woman, had to grow up to, which I've broken a lot of those because I was just like, nah, I don't want to do that. And so my experience has been different, from others, but very similar at the same time. And so as we continue, as we keep going on, and as I go with you through 240, um, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. And I think I'm in the process of also still figuring out this version of Daphne and still figuring out what I want to share, how I want to share it. And it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, you were raised a certain way, but yet you broke those societal norms. You've curated your own path. What does that look like? How does that help other people? Um, and it's always, for me, it's always just like, well, what do people want to know? What is it that people are asking? What is it like? What is so special about me that people are curious about my life? And so I'm diving in deeper, and I'm hoping that I can answer some questions, and help a sister out or help a brother out. And I think many of us are curious, and I hope everyone stays curious because this life is so much full of joy and so filled with answers that you were looking for. Now, like I, and like I don't know, like I feel like this video is like kind of everywhere, and I don't want to just post to post, but obviously I want it to mean something to someone out there. And as I continue to find my voice, I hope everyone can, you take what you need, and whatever is not needed for you, you can leave it for the rest. But like ever since, like after I felt like after I turned 39, I was just like, 40 is up next. What are we doing? And like where I'm at right now in life, it ain't a bad place. I'll tell you that right now. But it's just like I want more. Like I want so much more. And mind you, I am a sous chef at a top 50 best hotel in the world in Vienna, Austria. Um, and sometimes I'm just caught up because I came from two immigrant parents that fled their country for me, for my brothers, not knowing they would meet, of course, but for a better opportunity. And one time my dad asked me, he was like, Bonda, who can back aux États-Unis? Ça aux États-Unis though. And he was just like, what did the states do to you? Why you can't, because that's all he knows. He left a country that was under, siege and war and all this other stuff to, go to home of the free. And, my answer to him was like, well, why'd you leave your country? Obviously, I knew why. And so for me, the big scheme of things was for a better opportunity. And so, like, of course, we grew up, like, growing up, my mom had specific ideas of how she wanted us to be. She always repeated it. And, she wants a doctor, she wants a lawyer, she wants a pastor, she wants a doctor, she wants a lawyer, she wants a pastor. And none of us are that, okay? One of my brothers almost became a pastor. He was a youth pastor at the time. And I tried to, and I think growing up Haitian, it gets in your head and you try to follow your parents' dreams. You try to make them proud. And at some point, I think when I like moved to New York, because even after I graduated undergrad at UF, after I got my MBA, I was still trying to pursue law because I was trying to please my mother. And after I moved to New York, I was like, I like dropped off like the LSAT books on a stoop, and I was just like, I am done living the dream of someone else. I was like, I'm chasing my dreams. I want to live the life that I want to live. And it was a hard conversation to have with her, but we had it, and it's done. And I can say she is proud of my decisions, and she's happy that I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I love to do, although it is a bit far from her. But the fact that I'm just happy is all that matters. And I think many of us can attest, Haitian parents, if you're not doing what they want, if you're not doing what your parents want you to do, happiness where? So, and like that definitely has helped veer me into who I am today, like the way I was raised. And it's just there's a compassion, there's a kindness that's also into it. But there's also like a hardness. There's also, this toughness, this defiance that no, you're not gonna just like walk all over me. No, you're not going. I'm not going to be a slave to anybody. We left that. I'm not going. And so there is, as much as we're looking searching for freedom, there's still the struggle to find this freedom within ourselves. Because you're trying to find out who are you outside of your parents' raising, outside of who you thought you were, because that's how your parents said. That's who your parents said you were. And this was my thing growing up for a long time, until I listen. When I say God has His hands on me, and I am grateful for that, and that's one thing I appreciate my mother for, because she's always said, talk directly to God. Say something's going on, talk to God, like hear His voice, seek Him. And so I appreciate that, and I appreciate that wisdom. And so as we continue this journey, 40 to 40, I can't wait to take you guys along and like break down, some of the things, some of the beliefs, like how it was, in my teenage years. Like we could talk about how I wanted to date a guy at 16. And I told my mama now. I thought we could have a conversation at 16. I told her and she started crying. And so I didn't go on that date. Now look at me, 39, single, and no kids. I wonder why. Like, but if it's up to her, it ain't her fault. It ain't my fault. Did I do that? Yeah, you did. You did. But it is what it is, right? But God knows. And at the end of the day, I think I have lived a beautiful life, and I'm looking forward to living more and sharing so much more. And that's just an example. So here I am, 39 years old, 39 days to my 40th. But I'm realizing something. The question isn't, did I get it right? The question is, did I actually choose? For 39 years, so many things has happened around me, to me, because of me. And I'm not sure I always knew the difference. So for the next 39 days, we're going to find out. Year by year, story by story, all of it. The things I'm proud of, the things I'm not, the loves, the kisses, the years I don't talk about. There's some years. Um, the version of me my family wanted versus the version of me that showed up anyway. If you want to know how a Haitian American girl from Miami got to this desk in Vienna, Austria, at 39, asking this question, subscribe, because tomorrow is another day. Hi, my name is Daphne, and this is my new series, 40 to 40, where for the next 40 days, we are walking into 40 together. We're talking lessons, experiences, heartbreaks, joyful moments, moves, and all things Daphne. Just a Haitian girl from Miami, exploring the world, sharing her wildest dreams, and living a life well lived. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. You know what to do. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. Follow me also on all my other social platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, all that jazz. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great morning, day, or night, whenever you're watching this. Tschüssi, bye-bye.